Okay, welcome to my series on Project Euler in Python. So if you don't know, Project Euler is a series of challenging mathematical computer programming problems. So it basically is going to require a bunch of programming to solve these maths problems because the numbers get so large and the number of iterations get so large that effectively you're going to need a computer to solve it, otherwise you're going to be there a long time. So we can start with problem 1. Multiples of 3 and 5, problem 1. If we list all the natural numbers below 10 that are multiples of 3 or 5, we get 3, 5, 6, and 9. The sum of these multiples is 23. Find the sum of all the multiples of 3 or 5 below 1000. Okay, so let's break this down. So we need to list all the numbers below 10. We need to then check if they're multiples of 3 or 5, and we need to sum them up. And then we should hopefully just be able to change the 10 to a 1000 and it should work the same. Okay, so let's start. I've got my problem 1 file set up here. Let's just run hello world, get that cleaned up there. Okay, so what do we want? We want the natural numbers below 10. So for I in range 10, print I, then let's run. Okay, nice. So natural numbers, yeah, we should probably do that, but it doesn't really matter because 0 is not going to contribute to that sum, and 1 isn't divisible, so it's not an issue. Let's just go with the standard range function. So we want to say if they are multiples of 3 or 5, so that basically means if they're divisible, if they're wholly divisible by 3 or 5. So if I mod 3 is equal to 0, and I like to think of the mod operator as what's left over as a remainder when you try and divide by 3. So in this case, if we had I as 7, for example, 7 mod 3 is equal to 1 because it goes in twice with one remainder. So 7 is therefore not 7 mod 3 is not going to be equal to 0, which basically says 7's not equal to 7's not a multiple of 3, but hopefully we knew that, and we can do a similar thing with 5 to basically give us that constraint, and then we wanted to sum them up so we can add them to some kind of total. So let's set a total variable to 0 at the start, and then we can say total equals total plus I, and that will give us our final total, and then we can just print that total out at the end, and hopefully this should give us, what was it, 23? Nice. Okay, so now it should just be as easy as setting that to 1000, and there we go. 233,168 is the sum of all of the multiples of 3 and 5 below 1000. Okay, let's double check. I can sign in. Quick disclaimer, I have done Project Eulers before, so I've done quite a few of them, but as you can see, I completed this. And I completed it like nearly 5 years ago. Wow. But yeah, we can see that that's the correct answer that we got in PyCharm over here. Let's do a quick check. See if we can tidy this up a little bit. So we can do the shorthand notation, which is plus equals, and that should give us the same thing. But we can, I think I can turn this into a one-liner if we do some kind of list comprehension. Let's see. So if we create a list of all of the elements 1 to 1000 and only store the ones that are divisible by 3 or 5, then we can sum that list at the end. So let's see if we can replicate that here. So it's a list of all the i's for I in range 1000. If I'm just going to copy paste this because we've got it right there. So that will give us the list of all the values. So I should be able to just print, and then we can sum everything in this list. And so if we print the sum, then that should effectively give us the same thing. Oh, nice, perfect. So yeah, turn problem 1 into a one-liner. And yeah, that's all for this video. I'll see you on problem 2 next time.